all together. Get all the churches, investigate checks, to try and get the 3 things so they get, we get an automatic success, and we needed 6 out of 8 or something like that.
You're crushing this right now. Perfect. So to sort of break down the sort of mechanics of this, in order to sway the head of each of the churches, and I put together a little spreadsheet and put it in Discord. I actually put the whole spreadsheet there, so if you want to open the Excel document, you can look at it. Um, Group name, area of faith, etc. In order to convince the church head to get on board with this idea of like a unified church or a unified movement for all of the faiths, is a DC 19 um, hang on, DC 19 deception or persuasion check. In order to, no one can aid a person to do that specifically for this. However, I'm sorry, yeah. However, what can happen is you can gain advantage if you worship the same deity, or you can make a compelling argument as to why you're connected to it. I think that maybe the most obvious one there is the exiles and the sorcery sort of thought process. So if Morek were to go there, he might be able to have a one-on-one with the church head and potentially gain advantage by talking about his connection to like the sorcerous powers of the universe. The other way that you can potentially pass these checks is to do investigation checks at the churches in order to find sort of stuff and things out about the faiths that will give you leverage when rolling that deception or persuasion check against the head of the church. There are up to 4 details that can be discovered about each of the churches. Some of the churches only have 2. Some of the churches have 4. An investigation check, if you're going to roll it, is a DC 11 investigation check. And those checks, people can aid each other to try and get by. However, you won't know how many points there are until you roll those investigation checks. Each investigation check will take an hour of time, but if multiple people are going to a church to help, those people could both be doing that at the same time. Um, so with that in mind, that's why it's a little bit daunting. That's why Laura Beck was kind of like saying this could take a couple days if you're trying to make this work. But if multiple parties are going out to dive into it, you can do it. The and the other 2 rules, Kevin, you had said it, but just to sort of like finish it off, is there, if you get 3 points of information about the church, you automatically pass the check. However, if there's only 2, you can't automatically pass them. So that's kind of like that's the mystery that's here. That's like the roulette game that's going on. And then if you get 6 churches to get on board with this, um, the other 2 will jump in. So you may want to sort of like hedge your bets if you can do that, thinking about like where you potentially could fit in, and then have that advantage on rolling that DC 19 check, or how you want to break up the party. I will allow, if you guys want, to have 1 or 2 of the NPCs come with you. I'm probably thinking that it makes the most sense that Torrent and or Katrina would go with you. And then to make it easier, I made you guys a map. So I will start this, and I'll bring you guys to a map. And I actually think, I don't want to jinx this, but I actually think that you guys are going to be able to see the map as I open the map for you guys.
Wow.
And so here you are on, this is a little too overpopulated for what the southern side of the peninsula looks like, but you get the idea. And so each of the temples is labeled for their domain, and you guys are all at the bottom of the map, but this way we can track where you're at, what you're doing, and if you pass, we can put like a check mark over it, and you guys know you don't have to go back there. But we do need to be mindful of the amount of time that you're taking, and I think that after the adder crop a journey that you guys all went on, that it's probably about midday. Is that probably on point for where we left it?
Uh, maybe.
I'm gonna say it's around noontime.
Okay.
It seems reasonable.
All right. And so, with that, I have notes written down that say Kane and Morek, Nim and Obscurity, but you guys can decide how you want to do this and where you want to go. But you should be able to move your tokens, put them on the places you want, and let me know what you want to do.
Okay, so if we have multiple people at one church, they can both do an investigation check, and they can get two of them. Let's say if there's two people at a church.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can roll multiple investigation checks at the same church. Each person would find out one piece of information. And so let's say that's a church let's say you send 3 people to a church, and each person rolls an investigation check. You can say that you spent 1 hour, because that investigation check took 1 hour for each of you. And if you pass the check, you would glean up to 3 pieces of information, which could automatically let you succeed. However, if you're at a location that has only 2 pieces of information, or you fail those investigation checks, then you would have to spend more time at that church if you wanted to go down that path further before trying to make that DC 19 check.
With the investigations to be able to even make the check?
So you could, if you wanted to, just walk. Yeah, yes. So the investigations give you the factoids that may allow you to not have to make that DC 19 persuasion or
Right.
or whatever check. Or you could just go in and try to make that check right off the bat if you want. But if you fail, you fail to sway that location.
Right. So that's why, the investigations first, potentially. If you feel the need.
I'm also going to say that for today, the churches will stay open until 8 p.m. So that gives an 8 hours of time that you guys can try and affect these locations.
Okay. Did anyone have anywhere that they were looking to go in particular? I know we were discussing this a good amount last week.
I don't remember what we decided on last week.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually really, decided that there was anything that we needed to really go to. Nothing really kind of stood out, except for obviously some of them that were like, you and I could do the healing. Sorcery is for the wizard / sorcerer. I know. Knowledge, we've got a couple that could do that. Pilgrimage and ancestor is just kind of whatever. So I don't know if anyone has that sort of stuff that might be part of their thing. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no. He's all about his, elvenness or something. They usually are. The elves. So, just that sort of stuff.
They're all dicks.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking... I don't know. I'll go to healing. I don't know if it... I mean, at this point, it's kind of just investigation checks, so it doesn't seem like it's really much of a difference either way. So...
And then who do you want to bring anybody with you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's I'll take one of the NPCs. It's not Crystal. That's the other one. Katrina.
Yep.
And then there's Torrent.
So Katrina has. Katrina has just a flat check. She doesn't have a positive 2 investigation. And then Torrent has a +2.
Well, we're all going somewhere.
I mean,
so
you could bring them both if you wanted. I mean, that's
yeah,
up to you.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's too much of a waste at the moment because of.
And then obscurity. So Jen, I don't think is going to join us tonight. She's hurt. Probably saw that in the chat.
Yeah.
So if you want to send obscurity somewhere, obscurity can go there as well.
Yeah, I was thinking, I can take the NPCs and then these guys can get the characters that they're with.
And I know that we had said that Sovenis was off finding out about the Wayfarers, but if you want to bring Sovenis with you, you can. And I think he had put something in Discord about a spell that could help. He had a level 4 spell. I saw it tonight. Level 4 enhance ability can help 3 people for a 1 hour duration. So I don't know if that's going to help with this or not. It won't help with the final persuade check, but well, maybe it will. Who knows? To be announced.
Okay. So yeah. So I'll take those 2 and I'll go to healing. And then we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. And then where is everybody else going?
What was the thing to investigate?
So it's a flat
that.
investigation check at each location to try to find factoids that would sway the church leader into the camp of unifying all of the churches.
I'll do that.
So you have to do it at each of the locations, but each of the locations it potentially could be another one that you sort of bring 6 people into line to help out with.
So you choose a church and then try and figure out how it's going.
And you're doing healing, correct?
Yeah.
Wasn't there one for persuasion that they were going to send me in the bar to?
So you can do a persuasion at any one of them, but
What is your guys' intelligence?
18. I guess I just don't understand the choice.
If you guys have high intelligence, then you might want to take the Church of Knowledge.
Yes, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot that matters with it. You know what I mean?
The only way that it could matter is to potentially get advantage if you have to roll
Right.
that persuasion or oh my god, begins with a D, whatever the DC 19 check.
Well, that's not persuasion or deception or anything.
No, so the DC 19 charisma based check to sway the church leader is either a DC 19 deception or a DC 19 persuasion.
So it can be deception.
Yes, so in order to get advantage on that, you either have to be a member of the faith or provide a good argument as to why they should listen to you. And that's why I was saying that potentially the sorcery domain or the sorcery church could be one that Moruck, if there's not enough found through investigations, could argue to get that advantage. The concept of knowledge and intelligence, that might be another one that he could have some luck at as well. I hadn't even considered that.
So what seems best?
So I mean, it's kind of a little bit of, you know, whatever. It feels like, kind of. We're just like, yeah, just choose one, probably sorcery, since that one kind of fits what you're doing more than anything. So that way you can just kind of get that, get the advantage, sort of thing, and crush it.
Oh. Sure. Church of Sorcery.
Okay. If you want, just move your token over by it, and then we can start to do some rolls. And then, where did Obscurity and Sylvanus want to go? Or are they just not going to?
Obscurity's going with. There. Unless we want to switch them.
Going with who?
Obscurity's with you, and Sylvanus is with Moruck. Unless we feel like those might want to be switched.
I don't care.
Okay. Then we are where we are.
All right, so sweet. So first hour, you guys try to gain some knowledge about these locales. So roll me an investigation check. And if Sylvanus had wanted to cast that spell to help with this, you guys can make that determination. But realize that it only lasts for an hour, and I think it's only for 3 people. So let me know if that's going to happen. If it's not going to happen, then no worries. But roll those checks and let's see what we can find out.
I don't think so. So, investigation. Nope.
It's a fail. Do you want to roll for your 2 teammates, or do you want me to roll for them?
Sure. I'll just
What are we
roll.
rolling again?
So investigation checks. Yeah. So those are 2 passes. Your 2 teammates.
Nice.
Teammates pass.
Good work, NPCs.
You discover, with regard to the goddess of healing, that helping with the injured or curing a disease rather than waiting until she is free. I'm sorry. So backstory. The temple is currently at odds with the Doctor of the Order of the Aquiline Cross, and you'll remember that Laura Beck had that symbol on her when you first met with her. The priestess there are very busy tending to sick and wounded people, and since disease is a problem in the refugee camps, the priestesses like to use parables in their conversations, and you find out that they like people who help. So you might be able to gain advantage if you need it by curing or helping with somebody who's injured that's there. You also find out that presenting this in a metaphorical way suggests healing for the refugees. Suggesting healing for the refugees might provide information for that as well.
I failed.
Okay, you failed. Somebody want to roll for obscurity?
I'm We will.
Hold on, loading up the sheet.
There we go. 17. So that's a pass. So you guys are at the God of Battle. The priest there, Eric, was a former hippogriff rider, and a negotiator may gain advantage by talking about the aerial defenses of Sequin. So you find one thing out. And then Sovenis and Moruk. Wow. Sorry, Moruk.
It's
Oh,
okay.
he's with
You
me.
should be.
Oh, he's with me, man.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, redo.
Want a new team.
Okay, I will. Throw it in investigation, right?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
All right, that's a pass. And then do we
Good,
want to
that
do
is.
Savannas as well?
okay.
Yes. Investigation. Oh,
Oh,
I
right on
think
the
that might
number.
still be a pass.
It's
Right.
it's right on the number. Yeah. Okay. So the Cinderees have been in rebellion against the Regessian Empire and its potent magic off and on for decades, and some of their group are already exiled from other lands. As negotiators, you guys may gain advantage by having an arcane spellcaster present. Boom. You might also gain advantage by mentioning their plight and the fact that they've been exiled. All right, so that marks the end of the first hour. So it is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you want to continue to investigate these locations, you can do so. So those would be another round of investigation checks.
I'll go with what-
So we have 2 over at the healing.
2 at healing. You've got 1 at battle and 2 at exiles. Sorry, 2 at sorceries. Sorcery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Wondering if kind of want to split up the group that I've got.
Remember that if you guys crush this again, specifically for the people who already have 2, as long as there's more to learn at those locations, you could effectively just pass those and know that you've passed it by having 3 successes.
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing is, making sure that we pass, but also, move on to the next one so that we're not wasting time.
Yep.
With just, 3 successes that it's like, oh, great. So, yeah, I mean, I think, where we're still here, we'll just do it again.
All right, let's see those rolls.
Okay, so first off, Nim. I'm it doesn't really matter, especially not with that. So,
All right,
healing is
so
all set.
with a 20, unfortunately, there were only 2 bits of knowledge at healing, so you are going to have to try the deception or persuasion check. However, you do know how to get advantage to do it.
Oh, so it wasn't guaranteed to be able to.
Correct. There are locations that have up to 4 pieces of knowledge, and there are locations that only have 2. Most have 3, but you found one of the ones that only has 2.
Okay. And then you can only do it once, right?
Correct.
The persuasion, so...
Correct. But you can try to, but you have two ways that you can gain advantage. One would be to help with the injured that you see, or curing someone of a disease that's there, or presenting the proposal to the headmistress um, in a metaphorical way that suggests healing refugees as a way to sort of like ease the burdens of the world. So either of those you could use and then gain advantage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand.
All right.
All right. Is there anyone to heal?
Yeah, so there's like all sorts of people who are like battling various levels of ailment, whether it's disease related, or somebody's got like a bone that's been reset and it's in a sling or a cast. So I mean, if you want to use some of your healing magics, you automatically will um, get that advantage.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then... trying to see. No, that's perception. I've only got a +2 on stuff. Do either of the NPCs have a decent deception or persuasion?
That is a good question. So Torrent has a +3 for her persuasion, and
Okay.
where is she? Katrina. Oh wow, Katrina has a +7 to her deception.
Oh shit. All right. So she's going for it. Healing word. So a level 1 spell spent.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use guidance. I don't know if we're doing that right now, but I'm gonna use guidance.
I think you could say that you can do it right now if you want,
Okay.
because you found out pretty quick that there wasn't anything else to learn at the temple as far as like gaining an advantage or whatever, and so if it's go time, it's go time. So you'd have guidance +7, and you're rolling with advantage.
All right. Let's see. 2 of these. 1 of these. So 24, 25.
Yeah,
Nice.
you needed the 19, and you guys have won the Hospitallers, the domain of the goddess of healing, onto your side. So you've got 1 on board. Nice work. All right. Yay! Got 1 down. Nice.
Right?
A mark right there. All right. Cut back over to the battle where Obscurity and Kane are. You guys want to roll some more investigation checks?
Sure. What's the worst that can happen? I'll just lose again.
Or you might make it. I mean,
The way that I roll on this computer, no.
On this
See?
computer.
well, you're right. You are right.
That's the last one I'm rolling on this computer tonight.
If you have dice, I always allow just tell us what you rolled. But somebody roll for Obscurity.
Investigation. No. Almost a success, but not.
Unfortunately, no new information discovered about the Osteliner mercenaries and the God of Battle. Okay, go over to the Temple of Sorcery, Moruk and Sovenis. Wow, Moruk crushing it right off the bat. That gets you your 3rd piece of information, which is bringing a bear, a symbol of good luck in Sindare, would help you locate a local druid who will, like, effectively, you figure out a way that you could bring a bear to influence the decision of the head of this sorceress temple, And with those 3 bits of knowledge, you automatically pass, and you have the Temple of Sorcery locked into this mission of unity.
Cool.
Okay. So that means we are now at 2 p.m. Where are people going?
Oh. Go knowledge with
All right.
my group.
Are we able to stay where we're at, or do we have to move on?
Nope, you can stay there. You can stay there for as long
Yeah,
as you
you
want.
guys are still working.
Yeah, it's just time crunch, right? Like, so will you be able to get to all the places today? Will it take multiple days? Who knows? I mean, so in 2 hours, you've garnered the sort of the buy-in of 2 temples, which is huge, right? But you need 6. So how long will it take to get those 6? All right, so 3 people moved over to knowledge. Where are Moruk and Savanus moving to? Or is Moruk just running away from Savanus, and Savanus is lost in the streets of southern Sequin?
Thought we were gonna do knowledge, but
You
you
can
guys
do,
were at
you can do
casino.
knowledge. That's fine. We can go wherever. Because I was gonna say like maybe even pilgrimages or ancestors. I can go pilgrimages. That's no problem.
Yes. Yeah. Village.
I don't have
Yeah.
control of Katrina, so apparently she stays back.
Well,
All right. So pilgrimages. Let's see. We'll just go with it because we're moving on to the next one, right? Everyone had
Yep.
gone for the last one.
Yep. Power's been
Investigation
picked
over
off.
here. That was quite a roll for it to be a very big fail. So that is,
yeah.
let's say, Torrent and then Katrina.
All right. So
So,
Torrent has a +2, so that unfortunately only gets
oh,
to the 10. Good call on breaking it up that way, but you do get one fact, and the head druid of the goddess of pilgrimages. I'm sorry guys, I misspelt it. I type it today, and I'm like, is it grummages or grimmages? And it's grimmages, pilgrimages. Head druid values hospitality, community, and balance with nature. Also, he likes cats. You may gain advantage by being a druid or having proficiency in nature. And that is the one thing that you
okay. No.
learn. No. No. Neither, I don't think either Torrent nor Katrina. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe Katrina is?
Who knows what she is?
Katrina is... No, neither of them have that. Okay, let's cut to let's go back to Kane and Obscurity in battle.
Well,
Why? What happened?
Right.
Why are you guys so
and
mad?
then we might as well move on to the next one.
Well, you can keep searching that one. You haven't done anything to break it. It's just you haven't found out what you need yet. That's all.
but I thought you said we had to get 6.
You do have to get
6 out of the 8.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
only gotten 2 so far. If you guys get that one, that's 3 out of the 8.
Okay.
Like, it just happens that the other 2 parties were able to get it done in 2 hours. It doesn't mean that it can't take longer. It's just the rolls. That's all.
So that would be an 18.
That is a pass. And that, sir, gets you... You guys are at battle. If you were to... another way you could gain advantage is if you were to fight Eric, the head human priest, and defeat him in a non-lethal fight. You could gain advantage that way. And then, what about obscurity?
Right.
You'd fight Eric, for sure.
Right. Well, that was 3, though, right?
That's 2 so far.
No. Kane got one on the last one, right?
No.
No, I failed twice.
Kane's failed twice. Obscurity has passed once. That's how they had their 1 check. And then Kane passed this time. I'm sorry, Kane failed twice. Obscurity failed once
okay.
and got 1. Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's Obscurity's chance to fail this time. And so you guys are still...
Yes.
You're at 2 right now. Okay, cut over to knowledge with Moruk and Savanus.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Straight investigation check.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay, so I didn't tell you guys this, but if you critically pass, and there is the opportunity for multiple things to learn, you will get 2. And so in knowledge,
Son of a bitch.
there are only 2 to know. So
I'm over here sharing my thesis, and this fucking guy just plays one goddamn song, and he has the entire crowd.
So, the high priest of the god of knowledge loves to hear stories. Rumors say that the high priest abandoned
I have a story for you.
several of his traveling companions on his way to Sequin, but when he lost a book on the road, he went back for it, braving Regessian patrols. The book in question is an old manuscript of ancient philosophy, and the priest never parts with it. A negotiator might gain advantage by telling a story, giving an old book, or presenting tickets to the Wayfarers theater show. The negotiator manages, or the negotiator manages to read the priest's book either by stealing it or locating a copy of it at the Lyceum's library, and uses philosophical arguments found in the book. I kind of feel like with
This
that
is bullshit. Moruk has been trying to get into the fucking library this whole time, and now we have to do this to get good with the fucking those guys. This is some bullshit.
So basically, you guys have maxed out what you can learn with those 2. However, I feel like the fact that Savanus has come from the Wayfarers, he may have tickets he can give out, and or if anybody's going to tell a story, he definitely can. And so I actually... performance is a check in 5e, right? There's performance. Yeah. So if you want to have Savanus make this check, and because of that critical, I will allow a deception, a persuasion, or a performance, just in case he might have something that boosts that further, with advantage to do this.
And this is to just tell the story.
Just to tell the story that would effectively make the
I have advantage to try and earn advantage. Got it.
Does he have anything that would... Okay, I was just going to say, does he have anything that would further modify that?
No, I mean, I don't even know if he can give himself inspiration, but he can give himself advantage, but he has advantage, so...
So unfortunately, with that roll, despite the successes, you guys fail to sway knowledge onto the board. And I just feel
But that was just to try and gain advantage for that, right? Because that was the performance check to tell the story.
Yes.
So
Well,
then,
he had advantage either way, but yes, I'll say that that's fine. So he has advantage on either a deception or a persuasion check, and so see what you get.
yeah, I mean, they're both the same. Let's see, can he ruin this one too? Yeah, he can. Oh no, he made it.
No, you were like, yeah, it hadn't popped up yet, and I'm like, oh no, what is it going to be?
Yeah, no,
With
that two popped up for me right off the bat.
But with that, you guys are
3.
able to bring knowledge on board as well. So that is 3. Additionally, you guys find out some more war rumors while you're there. You find out that Regessian garrisons in Sindare have begun fighting with locals after attempting to round up mages per Leska's orders. You may remember that Leska was kind of the second in command of the Regessian Empire, and rumors are that she may have been the person responsible for the assassination of Coal Tongue. You also find out that the Shealesti have sent diplomatic envoys to each country in the region looking for help against what will eventually become a two-front war when Gate Pass falls. The Shealesti were rebuffed by King Steppengard of Daisen, who seems to think that Regesia is not an enemy. And you guys kind of found out some of that as you were traveling through and meeting with people as you traveled through Daisen to get here. But you do find out those other little tidbits as you were researching things. So nice work. So 3 down. Where is everybody going next? And will Kane and Obscurity ever make it through the Battle Temple?
Well, it's a battle.
Oh, and we did yeah, you guys got one at pilgrimages. So are you guys is Nim and the NPC staying in pilgrimages?
Yeah, we got. Wait, what did Torrent get?
You got
no,
one.
Torrent didn't. Right. So yeah, they're staying there. Yep.
Okay, and so another hour has ticked. So it is now.
But we have to move Moruk and Savant. No, actually, would he? He made the check, so yeah, they have to move somewhere.
Yeah, so Moruk and Savenus have to go to another temple.
Get out of here. We already like you, idiots.
Yeah, we like you now. Leave.
You already went to Seas, right?
Nope.
No.
No one's been to Seas yet.
That's what these green dashes are. What was the first one that you went to? Ancestry?
Healing.
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 Yeah, they're all marked
very,
with the green.
Very top of the map. Yeah, anything that I put that green mark on.
Oh, I have Gust's face over it. Okay.
Oh, good call.
Nice.
Good idea.
That's all the icons on the top left, and it was like I didn't see that at all.
Oh, okay.
Now we'll go to the Seas.
Okay. So as people travel to the
They like
Temple of the
music.
Seas, which by the way is just as a reminder, is the major center of worship for Sequin. That's like the most people sort of are members of that faith of any of the other, both in larger than any of the other ones. All right, so this time let's change it up. Let's start with Kane and Obscurity. Let's see if they can find out some things about battle.
Let's see how quickly I can fail. Okay.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
11.
That is the number. That is the number. Nice. So
3. It
you
almost was
that is
on
the
an
third
11,
thing that you need.
which would have been minus
You-
1, so it would have failed.
Yeah, guaranteeing that the temple of battle, will have the most defensible location in this new like combined temple. Will get the Ostalina mercenaries to get on board with this idea. And then if Obscurity wants to roll, I'll give you one more piece of information, because this is a location that does have 4.
Obscurity tried.
Oh, good. Well, Obscurity failed, but it's like the last piece of information is actually pretty ridiculous. The other way to gain like support is to literally be from Ostaliner. If you're not from Ostaliner, you just automatically, you're not from here, I don't like you. However, that you guys now have 4 churches that are on your side. See, Chris, you did it, buddy. Okay, let's cut over to the dream team of Morek and Savenis. Can they be stopped? Can they? Won't they? Should they? Who knows? Let's see what they can do.
No. Investigation.
All right, Morek with a 19. The priests of Sequin are not refugees, but they have an opinion about any new temples going in their city. A negotiator may gain advantage by having a nautical background, and then additionally promising that the temple would be built on the coast. Are 2 ways to potentially gain advantage, or to gain the church to your side. But those are 2 successes in a row. All right, let's cast it up to another potential dream team at the Pilgrimages Temple.
Investigation. Oh, that's 2 successes. That might not be any.
Those are not. However, you do get 1 success, and you find that if you were to spend an evening eating dinner and telling stories of your travels, is another way that you could potentially garner advantage in swaying the head priest, or head druid, I should say. That said, realize that would be another time consumer if there is nothing else to learn. But as of right now, you do not know. And then I think oh no, I'm sorry. There is one more thing to say, and that is, as you have traveled to the temple, as Moruk and Sovenis have traveled to the Temple of Seas, you find some additional war rumors. You find out that Leska seems to be foolishly splitting her forces. Regessia's armies are winning all of their battles, but cannot hope to occupy all of the territory they are claiming. They seem to be simply on destructive marches. Another fact garnered. All right. That moves us. It is now 4 p.m. Everybody staying where they are?
Nope. No move.
You need oh no, yeah. Definitely you should
No.
move. I'm sorry.
That should be marked.
Oh, I'm sorry. And
All right, 2 more. Things are going well.
yeah, you got there was some concern when I didn't realize you had rolled the performance check as opposed to the actual check with Sovenis.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, you lost it. But fair enough.
Right.
All right. So Obscurity and Kane move up to the Temple of Strength. Everybody else stays where they're at. All right, let's start. We'll go left to right. So Moruk and Sovenis go first. See if you can find out more about Temple of Seas. pass. Just see if Sovenis nails one too. This is one location that has forks factor. Oh yeah.
Sylvanus did.
I'm sorry, Sovenis did. Morak came in and got it. And so you guys find out that if you had brought Torrent with you, or another water-themed magic user, that could have garnered you advantage, and also guaranteeing it will be on the south shore, this new temple, so the refugees don't have to come into Sequin, is another way, because these guys are kind of assholes. But that is the 5th temple that has been brought into Laura Beck's dream of unifying these, and green mark will be placed. All right. Obscurity and Kane, you are at the Temple of Strength. Strength! Let's see what you can do.
12.
And investigation. A 12 on the die, so that's a pass. Barely.
So it would be a pass if the Regessian savages, worshippers of the goddess of strength, didn't have this a little different. The leader of this group is not a cleric, but a barbarian woman, and she preaches that people must choose their own way and that only the strongest should lead. Very prideful, she takes offense if the negotiator comes to her as anything other than the first or the last priest to convince. If the heroes come to her first or last, she automatically agrees to the proposition. Otherwise, whoever rolls a persuasion or why can I not remember this term? I'm sorry,
Deception.
everybody. Deception has disadvantage, and it automatically goes to that right now. Now, unless somebody can argue a way that you might have advantage, this is where it goes.
No, if they're like for Regessia, I don't.
They're not
see
for
that.
Regessia. They are Regessia. So Regessia is mainly orcs, and these are basically just like savage orcs that worship strength. They're like a tribe of barbarians, or like a church of barbarians.
Yeah, and obscurity is well, she's a monk, but well, I mean, with these two,
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, is there a way that maybe they
strengthy.
could do something?
I mean, yeah. What's all those videos that Jen keeps sending us of the dude with nunchucks? just that for advantage.
So maybe there's a way that she could make a check that would give her advantage to make the actual check, kind of like the performance to perform kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe it's a strength check, but like, what would that strength or athletics check look like? Like, what would you be doing?
Can you describe the temple?
So the temple itself is several pillars that have been erected with this with large leather hides stitched together, pulled across those pillars. There's a hole cut in the center of it, and a large fire that the sort of supplicants maintain burning all the time. And inside it, they are constantly burning bone, which sort of wafts this. There's a very particular scent when burning or cooking bone that everybody in this sort of district is aware of, as that kind of oily smoke burns up through the hole in the leather tarp that covers the rest of the area, leaving like sort of black remnants around it.
And how do they show their dedication to the god of strength?
That's a good question. I mean, like what? Like push-up contests, headbutts, flex-offs. What do you think?
Push-up bras.
Push-up bras, yeah, for the bros.
Right.
I'm willing to
All
reward
right, so
creativity.
I asked her, um, what is it that they? Let me see. How do I word this? For lack of a better term, what is it they attribute to a feat of strength worthy?
She looks at you and your deific stature and physique. She goes, "Pretty boy thinks he can show us up. What is it you can do, boy? Show us."
Is it Jamaican
And she kind of goes
Arnold?
and like hits her chest. Jamaican Arnold, yeah. Making me crazy.
Such a wide bastard. He's getting in trouble. Like 50 characters. Well, again, I just look around. I see pillars. I'm like, I don't see anything here that shows your dedication to the ideal of strength.
You come to my temple, and you can't show me how strong you are? Why should I support your ideals?
Because I'm offering, but I don't see anything here that exemplifies that. How would you like me to demonstrate that to you?
She gives like this, like almost you know the gorilla tribe in Wakanda, like
Yeah.
the Wakanda movies, where they're just like she just kind of like makes a sound like that at you and turns her head. I mean, you come up with something, maybe it works. I mean, worst case scenario, you got to try to make this check with disadvantage. Best case scenario, I don't know. You punch obscurity in the face, and we see what happens with that.
Yeah, then I'll wake up. I won't wake up the next time.
Well, maybe that's the show of strength. Obscurity.
Right. Look at the courage that I have. I'm willing to sacrifice my life.
And how many followers
That's like-
does she have there?
This character doesn't, adore me like the last one did. So
Yeah,
there's danger here.
my danger sense is going on. So you look around, and at first, there were, you could see that people were there. Like, it's a big open space, but like clearly the sort of like 15 or 20 people, the current congregants and maybe like acolytes or whatever, have all come over, and they've started to like form this circle around you. And as you're kind of talking with this head priestess, and she starts like making that like sound, they all
Who's
start
the biggest
doing
one
it.
there?
What's the matter?
Who's the biggest one there?
Oh, it's the priestess. She's huge. Big orc.
I like the idea of hitting a woman, though. He's an orc.
I mean, you saw her pound her own chest, and she does not appear to be unaccustomed to brutality.
Yeah, but the test of strength is not, punching first necessarily. It's
Yeah, you are correct. You are not at the god of battle. You're at the god of strength, and strength. Even though this head priestess is clearly physically gifted, does not necessitate that that is all strength there, the only strength that there is.
Right, that's why I was asking you to describe what was in the temple and to see if there was anything identifiable as like a test of strength.
Unfortunately, there's not. It's a very simple, open place of reverence, where there is like a sort of an ever-burning fire atop coals and whatnot that sort of fan out from the bones that are burnt within the blaze. You know what? Give me a perception check.
That's 0, so that's 12.
12 is enough. You notice that around the fire are hot coals as the embers from the flame have sort of burn off and tumble down. And you know, whether through your own connections to faith or what you've seen, is that sometimes a test of faith is to walk the fire. This would be a potentially extreme example of that, in the sense that how long or how far would you walk, but it may be a way, if you can do it effectively, to garner her respect and gain you that advantage on making the check.
And I was assuming I'd have to do that without the armor on.
Without the what?
Armor.
Yeah, you probably have to do that without armor on.
All right.
Probably
so
without shoes too.
Oh, then I'm out.
Oh, this place? Bye. But
I mean, if that's the thing, then obscurity would definitely go for that.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, so what does a level 7 monk have that might allow her to do this, or something like this? Again, I'm open to other ideas, but this is what you noticed.
Well, if she doesn't want to do it, I'll do it.
Oh no, this is probably the sort of thing she likes.
This is the only time you see obscurity smile ever, or when she's killing helpless prisoners. That's it. Those are the only times. So
yeah,
here's
but
so if you want to make,
had it coming.
if you want to have somebody walk the coals, there you need to make 4 consecutive Constitution checks, and those checks are 5, 10, 12, and 15.
5, 10, 12, and 15?
Yep. If you fail the check, you can continue on. But if you fail 2 of the checks in a row, you cannot, and you have to step out because the heat from the fire and the coals are too hot on you.
But how would that be a test of strength? That's a test of constitution.
Strength of will.
Exactly. It's your resolve.
Strength of character.
You're not supposed to be helping the DM.
Well, he's speaking the words I was about to say, so let's just say it.
Strength of feet, like from Robin Hood.
5, 10,
Men in tights.
12, and 15.
5, 10, 12, and 15. It's
correct.
doable. It is doable.
So 12.
Wait, I'm sorry. You're rolling checks already? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one, pass.
2, 12, 15.
Okay, pass.
16.
Pass. Last
Oh.
one.
Wait, what? Isn't that it?
16.
Boom. It was four checks. And so you like look at her as she's sort of like making these like gruff sounds, like, and the crowd around you, and you point at the fire, and you like take your armor off. Obscurity kind of goes like, oh shit, he has been working on his rear delts. Look at those. And somebody remind Jen that she thinks this when next she's back.
No, she's a different character. You can't, lock her up into Mel.
Yeah,
No.
The delts or whatever, that was her and Katrina.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that like she sees Kane take his armor off, and that like this deific person and his body takes his shoes off, points at the fire, and like her like she nods in approval, watches you do this, and as you make it around, you don't wince once. That was fun to say, wince once. And as you step back out of the fire pit, everybody that's there, instead of like making that grunt sound, like sort of stoops a little bit, and instead of like a clap, they all like pound the ground with their fists. So they're like pop, 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 pop. And like the priestess kind of looks at you, and she like nods, and this is your chance. Either you or obscurity can try a persuasion or a deception check with advantage, DC 19, to get them on your side.
Persuasion.
What have you got?
I have +6.
Okay, cool. All you.
So 18.
Oh
Do
shit!
you want me to roll it twice?
Yeah, you have advantage. Roll it twice.
Okay, so 19 plus 6.
Nice.
19 is the number. Oh my god! I thought twice when you said 18. Oh, dude, you did
Well,
it!
no, the first one was the roll of 18 plus 6.
Then you I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You passed it on the.
So you passed twice. Nice.
You literally
That's why
just
I had
created
to
drama
roll
when you
again.
didn't need to.
Right. It's like,
Um,
oh, it was so close, but you passed. It's like, what? Yeah.
okay, and with that is the last temple that you needed to get on board, and you guys have effectively won over all of the temples to Lorbeck's plan, and this can only go well for you tomorrow evening when you go to the war council. So, and it's only 4 p.m. I'm sorry, no, this was an hour, so it is now 5 p.m. So what do people want to do? Like, by the way, amazing job, everybody. Like, amazing job. Like, I
mean, you
I know
can't
that
mess up more. You can't mess up more than twice. And the fact that it's like the two that I was like, maybe we leave these alone, are the ones that we ended up leaving alone, unintentionally. But
I literally, like, I read the strength one, and I'm like, is anybody gonna go to strength? I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like what this party is gonna do. And you were like, we go to strength, and I'm like, okay. And then I'll be honest, there was no descriptions apart from the fact that the priestess was mad that you didn't go to her first or last, and so all of that was kind of made up on the spot. So hopefully that was fun. And I really didn't want to come up with a test for you, so that's why I kept asking. And then when you're like, well, what can I do? I'm like, walk the fire, right?
There's
That's the thing. I
fire.
said there's a fire, so walk the fire. Let's do this. Okay. So very cool, very cool. And I think that was super fun. Like, I hope that you get it too. All right. So I'm gonna bring everybody back to the main map, and then basically I'm gonna have Figovich give you a rundown of what else you guys can do, knowing that your house should be ready at some point tomorrow, probably not in the morning, but at some point tomorrow, and that tomorrow afternoon you have been invited. You have an invite to meet with the War Council at the Lyceum. So with that, let me do this. Figovich, so you guys have taken care of the Addercops. You have you've taken care of the churches. You've taken care of the rats. Was there something else that you guys knocked off the list as well? There may be something else.
There was something in the camps, wasn't there?
There's something in the camps that I think that you guys did as well. So I will I'll go back and look at it. But basically you've done like 3 to 4 things that were huge as far as getting the town on board with like maybe ideas that you have to share. And so the things that are left that Figovich comes up and talks to you about is he's like, well, don't forget that
Don't
there
remember
are,
this, because
don't remember,
otherwise
but
then my
don't
job
forget.
is
There's got
gone.
to be somewhere between. I earn my 1 gold a day. I appreciate it. Yes. There are the rumors of the dragon somewhere down here. Yeah, somewhere down there. There were the territorial goblins that are over here somewhere in the swamp area. If it'll do that, yes. You guys are still down in the South Harbor area, which is number 3 on the map, which is down here. And Figovich, before you leave, is like, "Oh, I have found out things that are here. Maybe you want to work on them. Maybe you do not. Maybe you want dinner. I don't know." Um, there is a local rabble rouser
You asking
who,
us out?
do you want to go have dinner? Maybe. Yes. I didn't hear a no. There's a local rabble rouser in South Harbor that has been sort of particularly difficult for the town to deal with. He explains that. I just want to make sure I'm telling you guys this in the right way. There's a dude who goes by the name of Pickens Frankert, and I think you may have heard this name before from some of the other stuff. And basically, he's convinced that the Lyceum is trying to take advantage of everybody, and so he's kind of like this person that is creating trouble for the Lyceum. And the Lyceum it's not that the Lyceum wants him dead. It's just the Lyceum would love for somebody to not be going, "And what else didn't you do for us? Like, I mean, yeah, you got a library, but I can't have a book in my house because I live over here and I don't want to go over there." Like, he's like a real malcontent kind of thing. But the other thing that comes up is there seems to be some skullduggery that's going on, and that young women, both from the camps and from town, are going missing. And there's some rumors. Again, I don't know. I only pass on what 1 gold a day will tell you for me. You know, but there are some brothel houses down here that well, maybe that is where the women are being taken and put, at least temporarily. And I don't know, but that's one of the things I've heard. And also, um, over
I think
here,
it's crucial that we check this out.
Nim thinks it's crucial. Nim's like, I have been on the road with these jerks for a while, and I gotta go. I got stuff to do. Also,
Yes.
not in the same area that
That's the
not in
dragon.
the same area that the dragon is, but basically in the same area on the map that the dragon is. There is an establishment known as the Royale, and it's
With
a testing
cheese.
ground, as word has it, for adventurers, and it's a fight club, is what it is. It's basically a 3 to 4 storied building located somewhere in the woods to the southwest that people go to test their skills and potentially talk a good deal about themselves or to prove themselves, kind of thing. And I don't know much. I've never seen it, but I have heard that, I mean, once you're in, you're kind of in. And so that's a thing. Whether or not that's anything you want to know about, well, that's a thing
Now
too.
it's something you know about.
Now it's something you know about. I'm doing my job. I'm keeping you aware, and that's what I'm doing. So, all right, Figovich out. Unless you have questions for him,
And he
and
disappears.
Bimph. He's a bard that has learned invisibility. No, he took that feat that Hal did. He learned invisibility at 3rd level, and he's just like, poof, once a day, you can't see me. Bye.
Nice.
So what would people like to do?
What are people thinking?
Fight Club or brothel?
I don't disagree.
I love
Sounds good. Strange
Love
coming
it.
from our paladin, but sounds good.
it. Well, you've only got
man,
one now
damsels
instead
in
of two.
distress. I mean, hello.
That's my oath. What? I don't know. I'm still working on it. Well, it would make sense if he's actually doing it for, the women who were abducted.
Fair.
Like in an actual altruistic way. So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess brothel, because I feel like if we try and do Fight Club, we wouldn't be able to get back, even though it would be late, and that would kind of prime time. I feel like it would be more than like 3-4 hours for the Fight Club. Unless we wanted to say people wanted to split off. Some go Fight Club. I feel like Obscurity would go Fight Club.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes total sense.
Now, are we gonna turn Savennis into an opposite bard? Like, still annoying, but like not trying to seduce everything.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant you were going to give him the gender switch belt again. Here.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you have one?
I'm not saying
Now
there
we're-
That's
isn't
a
one in
pretty
the
rare
but-
item that all of a sudden, yes, we do have it right here. Oh, wow.
I went so well
But he-
last time.
I
He
know.
was so pleased. He was so
Well,
happy
I'm
with
just
it.
surprised that, it constantly happens to me. And it's like, okay, the first time was because you weren't there. That's on you. The second time, sorry. You shouldn't have rolled a
Second time.
3.
Second time you weren't there.
Right, exactly. And that was just you roll a 3, and so did Wolfgang. Anyway, yes, not switching genders, but he's an elf, so you would never know.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I have only read ahead so far in this story, and some of it I'm discovering as you guys discover. And so I do not know if there is a gender swapping belt. Truth be told, I
Yeah.
do not know. But there isn't one I'm aware of yet.
Right now.
Right now.
So yes,
New quest? New quest? New quest?
Side quest, everybody. There is something funny that does occur if you guys should succeed this particular book, that maybe the gender swapping belt does come into existence. So we'll see. We shall see.
Okay. So yeah, do we have anyone who thinks that they would go to the Fight Club? Because like I said, I think
Oh, I
Obscurity
forgot to
would.
tell you. I forgot to tell you one other thing. Well, it's not that I forgot to tell you, but
I'm always surprised when he's still there.
boom! I told you I was invisible. I didn't actually leave. I just went invisible,
Right.
standing here listening to you. I need to know where you are so I can come give you more tidbits of
We're
information.
right here.
Yes, well, you can't see me because I can't see me. I'm invisible. But you can only hear his voice. There's also. Are you familiar with biomancy?
Was that like plants
Well, no.
or just
good
life? No.
guess.
So no,
So,
I'm
no,
not.
no.
We'll just go with
But-
no.
Okay, all right. Well, Biomancy is
Easier.
it's
You make people shit themselves.
no, that's poopmancy or cackamancy, depending on where you are in the continent. But there is this person who goes by the name of Paradigm Dogwood, and he is he's capable of creating custom things. So, do you know what an owl bear is? Have you seen one, or at least know what one of those are? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so owls and bears, well, they don't do it in the wild. So, in order to make an owl bear, you've got to take some of this and some of that and put them together, and well, that's biomancy. And there are rumors that this paradigm is somehow connected to the missing girls now. Whether that's true or not, again, these are rumors, and sometimes they're not. But he runs he runs a shop to make custom animals in this district down here, that's the South Harbor district.
There's
So,
not missing dogs, are there?
not that I'm aware of. Well, there was the whole thing with the rats, but you took care of that, so I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, they're not missing either. Those were found.
Found them. All right. Figovich out. Kind of.
He's still here, isn't he?
I'll never tell.
Yep.
I've said too much.
I don't know. I don't think he knows what
Always
he's
is.
talking about with biomancy. I'm pretty sure the god of this world has said BRB biobreak before. I haven't read the sacred texts, but you know.
Maybe that's what the god of this world is doing. I've got to go animals in another room, and I'm just saying biobreak, but it's more than you know. It's more than you.
But it's so much more than we want.
It's so much more than you need to as well. But yeah, so the consensus is everybody wants to sort of stay down here in this district and do some snooping.
I feel like Obscurity would want to go to the Fight Club, and I don't know, maybe Savenis goes with her. I don't know if this is something where it's like a situation where we feel like we would understand that it's like not split the party-esque.
The only thing I'll say about Savenis, just in case anything happens, I would like to think that maybe he goes back to the Wayfarers because he's getting real with them. So maybe after he's with the temples,
Yeah.
back.
But yeah, like Obscurity would be fine with going on her own, or even if maybe she takes Katrina, and it's just like, I'll show you what I've been working on. Maybe they both fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send
That
Obscurity,
might be Katrina's thing.
yeah, if you want to send like Katrina kind of like is intrigued by the idea and would go with Obscurity to the Royale.
What
Please note
are
it is not-
people's feelings on that? I don't want to make this call
It is
myself.
not with cheese. I just want to be clear. It is not the Royale with cheese.
Nice. So what do people think? Would that be too much?
Is there a possibility that the Fight Club area is more than what it seems, and it's not just a Fight Club, and there's no reason to be concerned about people not coming back?
I mean, isn't there always?
Not as much as you might think.
I know that Jen is not here, but I will say that as far as being able to handle themselves, Jen's character did follow you guys through the wilderness on her while it was completely, and also.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that you can't take care of yourself.
No, but I'm just saying. And Katrina, you guys didn't know this, but Katrina had stolen a tinder twig like a fire starter, and it was in her boot when you guys rescued her, and her plan was to burn down the witches' temples and run away anyways. So she is a very independent and self-capable person as well. Just saying.
Right. That's kind of the impression I got. So it's like, yeah, they'll want to go there.
The entire way, Obscurity is just doing like lateral delt lifts just so she hits those rear delts.
Right. That's correct.
That is factual. All right, so I'm gonna grab Obscurity and I'm just gonna put her down here. I'm gonna grab Katrina and put her down here. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. And so they go off to do their thing. So Venice, I'm gonna put over here at this big boat because that's where wayfarers are. And then everybody else is traveling down here. Do you want Torrent to come with you, or do you want to sort of send Torrent off to do her own thing? She's happy to come with you. Or to stick with you, I should say.
I mean, I'm not opposed. I feel like sending her with Obscurity might be... I just kind of feel better about that situation.
Yeah, so if you want her to go that way, she will. She's happy to do that as well.
Have a level head to go with them, the two that want to compete and show off.
I feel that Well, you know what? You're right. I was just going to say Obscurity's pretty level-headed now.
Oh, so you haven't met her?
Helpless captive. So yeah. Never mind. No, never mind at all. Okay. All right. So the three of you stay in the district that you're at, and on Figovich's sort of heads up, you starting to look around, trying to like ask around, maybe clumsily, maybe very directly. You're talking to, specifically trying to see if there are in fact brothel houses down here, and where this maybe where Majestic Creations, the shop owned by Paradigm, is located. And so I think what I'll have you guys do is roll some investigation checks. We'll kind of go from there.
Because we haven't done enough of them yet.
Because we haven't. I mean, I know we're very centralized on this, but you guys did choose to do this. Welcome to what's going on.
This is not what I had in mind.
I'm sorry. Are we doing an investigation?
Yes.
Let's go. Come on. Obviously, it's this way. Let's go. Let's
Nib,
go.
you finally, look at that.
So, 10.
10. Okay. So here's what you guys find out. With a 10, you find out where Majestic Creations is. It is a small shop that, again, as Figovich had told you, is it provides services to wealthy clients who are looking to create custom animals that they can pay for. Effectively, he can create any aberration, animal, or magical beast with a challenge rating of 5 or less. His creations never have an intelligence 2, and there are rumors that mages from the Lyceum sometimes come to see him to acquire things for classes, things for components, etc. Additionally, with a 10, he is busy working on creating, the rumors are he's busy on making hippogriffs currently, or Shaftabem's captain's shoulders. So Shaftabem is a local, like, kind of captain of the guard, and much like the Griffin Riders that were in Gate Pass when you guys were there, as this adventure opened, and the Griffin Riders took to the skies as the Regessians attacked. Likewise, they are trying to mount and build an aerial defense similar to be ready here. With the 11,
Because it worked out so well over there.
well, they were taking wyverns down, if you remember. Like, you guys actually walked by a downed wyvern and its
Yeah.
rider.
No, they were
Like,
doing pretty well.
It's a pretty
Still, the
effective
city.
strategy. Yeah. I mean, also, Gate Pass hasn't fallen yet, so clearly
Oh, okay.
something's happening, or at least
That's good.
that's what you have not heard a rumor that says other. With the 11, Moruk, you know that there is a local crime lord who goes. He is a halfling, a Cinderies halfling, who goes by the name of Cernaban, Cernaban, Cernaban Gremmin, and he is the owner and operator of a brothel here in the southern area of Sequin. But it's kind of like but it's run very much like what were they called? Like, was it Flophouse in the 20s, where basically like it was a front, but if you had the handshake or the right knocking pattern, you could get in and there'd be like a bar and stuff below. But instead of just being a bar, it's a brothel, and he has. It's literally like the brothel itself is just known as Cernaban's. Like, it's very obvious, but only people who are on the know. So there is so as far as like a location, there's just sort of like rumors. You're not really sure. Nim, with a 21, you know where the brothel is located. There is what looks like a abandoned tanning factory that that maintains like an office in front. Sort of like it's a bit of the ways back from the seashore itself, and there's always somebody in the like 24/7, and they effectively are like, oh yeah, we're rebuilding, we're gonna come back soon. But if you know the right thing to say, then you get in. And the right thing to say is, I'm looking for a creative pair of shoes. You know that, or you've garnered that with your investigation.
Oh,
Also,
I'm looking for a creative pair of shoes. You know that.
yeah, you know that. And then you have to say the last part really emphatically,
Right.
and that's what sells it, right? You know, like
Right. All right. Yeah.
April
Yeah. All right. Get in. Get in.
April is
Jesus.
the right month for robins. You know that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, sorry. You have learned that, garnered, but you also know that there are some speculations that Paradigm is or has been employed by Gremmin, by Cernaban, same name, sorry, Cernaban Gremmin, for something in connection to his brothel. But as far as what it is, either people are too tight-lipped to tell you, or they don't know. But that's what you garner with the 21, which was way more than I was going to give anybody, but that was a crit, so you got to get it. So you have two locations. One is the Majestic Creations, and the other is this like tanning facility with front office. What would you like to do?
I mean, what are you guys thinking? Does it make sense to try and get into the secret one?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We're off to find a creative pair of shoes.
Okay. So you guys come down to this area, and much like what you saw with when you went after the fire rats, the swarms of fire rats in northern Sequin. This is another area that looks like it's sort of fallen on hard times, and as you walk through it, you see that the streets are still pretty well trodden, so people are still moving through here, but the buildings are shuttered and closed. But after a little ways, you come across this one place that says, like Aria's Tanning, and it seems like a large. It's sort of like a very nondescript front. It has a window with like an I'm sorry, it has like a front booth, almost like a movie theater, with like shutters that are open, and there's a glass pane or some, yeah, like a glass pane with one of those little metallic like vent panels so that people can talk from one side to the next. And there seems to be a young woman who's sitting there, and she seems to be reading. She seems to be fully engaged in reading a book.
Anything good?
She looks at you, takes like the longest sigh, rolls her eyes. She's like, "May I help you? We are not ready to open yet. The tanning company is coming soon and working tirelessly to bring back this place. But we are not ready yet, so I'm sorry."
Oh, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for a creative pair of shoes. Could you point me in the right direction?
She like looks you up and down, and then so Mark and Kane are next to you guys, right? You're all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as far as I know.
And for the first time, she like takes in the glory of how goddamn sexual your characters are, and she just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please. I'll buzz you in right away." And like she like puts her hand down underneath the counter and does something, and you guys hear like that "meh" sound, and what looked like boarded up doors both open inward, like, and they open up quietly, like doesn't creak or anything, just opens, and there's sort of a dark doorway in front of you.
All right. In we go.
Yep.
Okay.
So you guys, she's like, yeah, and she says, "Enjoy." And as you guys kind of walk through this threshold, the doors like close behind you and lock and latch into place. And as you come in and your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see that rather than like a burnt out like factory, there is that. Like there is that in spades, both to the left, to the right, in front, but also in front. You find that you're standing on this like velvet red carpet, and there is a staircase leading down, and you hear the sound of like music and voices and like laughing. In fact, I'm gonna go to the sound, and I'm gonna turn off the wall, as you know, you start to hear more sounds of like frivolity and people, and they're talking, and the staircase itself, rather than this like gaudy and like moldy, if not like rotted wood that's everywhere else, is this like black ebony colored wood that leads down in the railings, and this like red carpet turns into this purple plush pads on each step that leads down and banks to the left. And you see at the bottom of the stairs is this halfling that has hair tied up in a bun, and she's got like this tight like cocktail dress on, and she's sort of like looking over books and flipping through things, and has a quill and is jotting things down like and you guys do.
I don't know. I didn't think we'd get this far. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. We've got like the idea of these missing girls. So, hello.
The halfling like looks up. She's like, oh yes, yes. She closes. It closes. She's like puts the quill back in its holder, and she's like, yes, yes. Welcome. Um, is this your first time? I don't think I've seen you all before.
Is it that obvious?
Well, I do.
Well,
I do keep a pretty good tab on everyone that comes in and out, and I'm not saying you're not welcome. Nothing close to that. But I am saying, I can spot newcomers as soon as they come in.
well, you are correct.
Let me maybe guide you through our services. We cater to all tastes here, and we stress all. If there is something in particular that you're looking for, I guarantee we can get it, or we have it, or we'll make sure that your money is given back to you. In order to get into the club, it is an initial payment of 50 gold pieces each. Please and thank you. But rest assured that your time and your money will be well spent here, and that no one has ever left upset or unsatisfied.
All right. Are we paying that?
I don't think we have much of a choice.
All right. Paid.
She says, thank you. Please understand that drinks are on the house. Anything and everything. Food as well. Our staff, all of our staff, in any role that they may play with your time here, do enjoy tips, and we do appreciate those who tip well. Please understand that the more you tip, the more enjoyable your stay may be. But that is just because we all must make a living, one way or another. Through the door to your left, you will find our greeting area. It is a lounge and bar where you can be served virtually anything that you can think. Our patrons generally like to go in there, have a rest, enjoy a beverage. If they're hungry, perhaps take in a meal. There are firesides you can sit beside. There are tables that either you can sit and meet and talk with others, or perhaps be alone. I see a group of 3, depending upon what it is that you're looking for. We may or may not be able to provide that immediately, and may require some time in order to get all of the things and the stuff that you must. That said, we have many of our employees that will walk and meander through this lounge area. And they, well, you are welcome to interact with them in any way that you so choose. Please remember, after your initial payment, that depending upon your actions and what it is that you require, please understand other guests may not appreciate that, and you may want to adjourn to private rooms. This, of course, is at your discretion and at your willingness to tip. Thank you, and please enjoy yourself. And she motions with her arm towards a set of doors that lead towards the next room.
All right. Let's head in.
Before you go any further, I just wanted to say, I really thought you were going to deal with the fucking goblins, but instead you went here. Okay.
There was definitely a plan of that, but then there was a joke
Then you
that
were
was
like,
made.
yeah, we're doing this. All right.
And
so,
no, that was actually what I was gonna do, but then I made the joke, and then I forgot about the other one.
All right, so you guys go in,
I keep hearing the most recent thing, and it's like, yeah, that one.
so
Okay.
you guys
I
go
forget
through,
everything
like,
else.
you guys go through another set of like just ornate double doors that are silent on their hinges as they kind of wisp open and then close behind you. Think of like giant. They're not giant. They're like 8.5, 9 foot tall wooden doors, but they move like saloon doors, right? Like you push them open and then they just sort of lift back behind you. And as you come in, you see. I think that maybe the best way to describe this place is if anybody remembers what the bar in the Overlook Hotel looked like in The Shining. That's what this looks like. Like think of like a 1924 flop house that was done up to the nines, right? Like everything has glass or mirror, like shined and oiled hardwood. The bar top is that same weird black wood that you've seen throughout that just sort of is polished to the degree that you can see your reflection in it. And everyone that is in this place is beautiful. Like even the people who are ugly have a degree of shine, charisma to them. There is nobody here that seems out of place. Even you, as you walk in, there's just an atmosphere of welcome. You are here. What do you guys want to do?
Let's get. I'm thinking a meal, some drinks. See what presents itself.
I love the fact that the last time you guys had a meal, Obscurity was like, I'm going to go hunt squirrels. You guys had squirrel meat. And now you've come to this place, and you can literally have anything you price tag you paid to come in here.
Yes.
So yeah, you can either go up
Yes,
to the bar.
quite a change.
It is quite a change. You guys can go up to the bar, or you could sit down at a table. You see that there are tables that have benches, but the majority of the tables have these like plush velvet chairs that just seem to be so inviting to just sort of rest in and just take a moment of like, it doesn't hurt to sit on this kind of thing. There are fireplaces, hearths that sort of adorn this room. The room itself is, for the expanse of the upstairs, it seems like this room is almost the size of the upstairs. So it runs some like 60 or 70 feet long and is some 50 feet wide. So it is a massive space. And then between the hearths and the fireplaces, with a central bar in the middle and these like pillars coming up behind it that support all of the racks and all of the glass, or the decanters of various spirits and other concoctions lie. There are doorways, and those doorways, as you look around, if they open, seem to lead to hallways that lead to more rooms.
All right. Well, for now, I'm thinking take a seat in the nice, inviting chairs.
Okay. So you guys sit down, and within moments, um, uh, uh, there appears to be an elvish man with with like a bob cut haircut and the classic like waiter outfit, like white pressed shirt, black pants, black apron, comes over and has like a leather bound little notebook and pulls out like a quill, and he says, hello and welcome. What is it that I or any of us may bring to you that you require?
What would you suggest? Anything on special?
Everything is special here. And he looks at you and like gives you like the briefest of like glances and says, anything you desire.
I'll have a nice white wine, if you have it. Whatever
I'm sure we do.
you might suggest.
Is there anything else that you were?
Something to eat.
We have cooks who are capable of preparing virtually anything that your palate requests and desires. Please be as specific as you need.
Prime rib
We can do that.
and a hot chocolate.
Is there something that you wish,
All bad.
as far as a cow or something more exotic?
Bison.
Bison. We can do that indeed. And of course, a chocolate, a white wine, and what was it that you wanted, young miss? He says to Nim.
I'll also you know what? Let's kind of food would go with white wine. I'm not sure. Do you have
Pancakes.
Did you just say pancakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
That's actually excellent.
So I like to start
do,
my day with white wine and pancakes.
right?
Dude, hot
Pancakes,
chocolate and
but
prime
then-
rib. Come on. Like,
I do kind of like the sound of pancakes. Yeah, pancakes, chicken and waffles.
Can do. Do you require anything in your waffle? Just the batter.
Uh,
And the
yeah,
chicken,
let's get some
would
fruits
you
in
prefer-
there.
We can do that. Do you have anything, or would you like to be? And as far as the chicken, would you like it rubbed in anything, or do you just prefer it plain?
Yes, something with a little bit of a kick. Nothing too much.
Understood. We have things that I think you'll enjoy. Many things I think that you will enjoy. And you, sir, what would you like as she turns? As he turns his attention to Kane.
Meat and spiced potatoes.
Mead, spiced potatoes. Would you like your mead to be something that keeps your wits about you, or something that brings you to perhaps a higher level of thinking?
No, I'd like to keep my wits about me.
Understood. And is there anything that you would like with those potatoes, as either a garnish or a side?
No. Nope.
Then I will be back momentarily. Thank you.
They don't even cook it. They just bring out sweet potatoes.
Yeah, there's just a whole stack of yams. Good
Just-
luck.
Yeah,
No.
right. Just like
and so-
4 on a plate.
So the waiter turns and leaves, and with what seems like moments, comes back and has a hot chocolate for Moruk, and Moruk, or to TJ. I once had the opportunity to travel up to California and San Francisco in January, and I went to the Giardelli's chocolate factory out there and had a hot chocolate made with Giardelli hot chocolate, and it was the most exceptional hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. And I imagine that is the hot chocolate that's brought to you. You also notice that it is brought with a plate underneath it that is warm to the touch, so that your hot chocolate as your meal is being prepared. White wine in a large stem glass is brought, And as you taste it, you taste that not only is it that sort of crystalline, bitter taste, but there is a sweetness of strawberries behind it. And then the mead that comes for Kane tastes of nothing but the honey from which it was distilled. There are no other facilitating tastes that go with it. And so after the waiter deposits and all of these drinks and look back, specifically back towards Nim, and says, "Do you require anything else? Or can I wait until your food is ready?" We are happy to serve.
I believe for now, we're all set, unless anyone has any thoughts.
At the moment.
Yes, perhaps after the food.
Very well. And they step off. They sort of disappear back into the crowd. And you guys are left to enjoy your beverages and to look around. And I'm going to take what TJ has now made me have to label a biomancy break, as I'm going to go create a randomly crafted animal. I will be right back.
I'm gonna go level up my biomancy. I don't have a plan here except for maybe something about talking to any new girls or something like that. Either that or just kind of getting someone. Seeing if we can talk. Get them, it may be a get them in private situation. But also, I paid the 50 for the both of you just to make sure that you guys didn't.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, so if you paid for it, get rid of that. Like, add that back. This is quite a costly investigation.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. So yeah, perhaps trying to see if, each of us goes and tries to find someone to get information from. Because I think that would be the most, what would be the word? Not nondescript, but like not obvious way of handling it.
What did I just walk back into?
Can't fault the
Planning.
logic.
So the first question that I have to ask as we come back,
Because the three of us all trying to find one girl and trying to, it's like, okay, what's happening?
So
What are you guys into?
So before anything gets crazy, I do have a question, and that is, when you guys picked your seat, velvet appropriated chairs, did you take something that was front and center, kind of off the side? Where do you think you guys sat?
So what is kind of the setup that we see as we walk in here? And what else is there? Who else is there? Like, is there, like you had said, fades back into the crowd, but like, is it crowded? Like, how?
So the room is populated. There appears to be people of. So there are people of everything, right? There are people that appear to be Cindelise, Osteliners. There are people from Jessia, adjacent. There are people of virtually every race and species that you can imagine that are in this place. The room that you're in, like I said, is some 70 by 50 feet. Like, so it's a massive rectangle, but in the center of it is a large circular bar that has pillars in the center of it that surrounding it are glass shelves that all of the libations that they're serving are stored on. Many of them. Around that bar are tables, some of them like on almost like picnic table-esque kind of things with benches. Others of them are private areas that have chairs, seats like you're sitting. And then around the walls of this place are a series of whether they are fireplaces or places to warm themselves, etc. And then between them are these doorways that you have seen and observed thus far, open into hallways with mirrors, etc. And so as you came in, did you kind of grab the seat that you saw, or take a moment? And you can say either way. There is no right or wrong. Try to find something.
Yeah, I mean, I
more
think
off the side or
a little more off to the side, unless, if we're going in there and either Kane or Moruck grabs the something that's more right in front and center, then I'd follow with that, kind of no problem. Like if there's a logic that they have for that, of putting ourselves right out there, kind of letting people see us, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. Making kind of a statement with where we are. I mean, as I'm saying it, I'm kind of convincing myself to kind of maybe think about doing that.
Okay. What you do know is that no matter where you sit, I will tell you this, you were immediately. So whether you were trying to be bold and sort of open and out there with your presence, either way, you immediately serve. So there is no hesitation or reservation with regards to that. But that said, I would just like to know if you took a more obfuscated place. I said it right. Obfuscated place. I can never say that word. Or if you just sort of grab the first seat and it's sort of more in the general view of anybody that's in that particular part of the that hemisphere, right? So like if the central bar is a circle and the room is a rectangle, you've got that, like, if you were to look at it on a map, you would have, your northern side, your eastern side, your southern, western side, and you'd be able to see around the corners of each side as you sat.
Yeah, let's get, if we can, like something more on the corner.
Okay, so you grab a seat on the, and I'll say that it's a little bit reserved, right? So you're not directly in the center, you're kind of off to the side. So okay. The waiter has come back and delivered the bison prime rib. Does taste a little gamey, but it has been treated in some like, it almost tastes like a nutmeg sauce that creates a sweetness that I've never quite had before. The pancakes come back, and you have a stack of 7 pancakes. The reason that there are 7 in is because there are 2 pancakes with blueberry, 2 pancakes with chocolate chips, 2 pancakes with strawberry, and then 1 very special pancake that has a little bit of each of them, and then a small cup of whipped cream that you can choose to dollop out however you want. And then the sweet potatoes come, and these ain't no microwave sweet potatoes. These are sweet potatoes that
No,
have
I
been
didn't say sweet
baked.
potatoes. I said spiced potatoes.
Spiced potatoes. Okay. They come back, and they are worms from Dune with potatoes on there. No, I'm kidding. They come back, and you have 4 potatoes on a plate. And what is served with that is a series of I don't condiments is not the right word, but a series of fixings that you can now put on the baked potatoes, however you so choose. So there's cheese, there's bacon, there's chives, there's sour cream, there's horseradish sauce, there's there's like 12 to 15 different things that you can use. And the potatoes, and I find this particularly impressive about baked potatoes, have been prodded several times so you can see small holes in them, so that you know that however they steam or bake them, that the inside is just as cooked. And of course, there is a healthy plate of butter that you can use. Nobody uses margarine in baked potatoes, but yeah. So
That's margarine.
oleo, is that the other word for it? So yeah. So each of you receives a meal that I hope is enticing. And I should also share that I went for a walk with my daughter tonight to just get her out of the house and some energy. And she was telling me all about fairies. And I think I'm going to write a book about fairies based on what my daughter has told me about fairies. One of the things is that boy fairies, if they meet you, will offer you food, but it's poison or has rocks in it. And I was like, so you mean, and it can be any food you want. And I said, so you mean to tell me that if I met a boy fairy and it was like, and it said to me, what do you want for food? And I said a meatloaf sandwich, they would put rocks in it? She went, yeah, don't ever eat food from a fairy. All right, fair enough, thanks. Now I know that. But that said, you guys start to enjoy what potentially is one of the best meals you've had. Well, at least weeks, if not months, at this point. And as you dig into it, you notice that as you look around, you don't have to roll perception checks for this. Notice that there are well-dressed people mingling at each of the tables who start to take notice of you, and they start to try and catch your eye, to draw you into conversation. But as you're doing that, I would like each of you to roll perception.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What? A perception?
A perception check, yes, please. Is the music too loud? I can turn.
No, I.
Okay, I'm not. You're breaking up. I thought it might have been me. I mean, at least it is.
It's goddamn Maine. I'm sorry, everybody. It's like my internet connection up here sucks. So I apologize.
17.
Wow, Nim. Wait, Nim. 21 or 23? You got 23?
Yeah.
23. Okay, 17. Morak, what do you got for perception?
$21.
I would like each of you roll a stealth check.
Two.
Oh shit. Okay. Nim, Morak.
Yeah. Oh, I got you beat.
You started it. All right.
The
All of you noticed,
was a 2.
but they notice as well. Lee Siddoneth. Does anybody remember who Lee Siddoneth is?
Hold on. Bald, tan, muscular man dressed like a fisherman.
Yeah, but who was he? Why is that important?
Figovich is the guy.
Lee is Torrent's master, like she was the person that bridged that gap with you, that you went out to that sea tower and met with him, and he bridged the gap to have the meeting with the War Council that you guys have been invited to.
Okay, so he's the guy who we met when we met those two guys in there at first?
Yep. So you went to
Okay.
Lee's house and met those two dudes, and then talked to Lee, and Lee was like, "Oh, I mean, you guys have had quite the adventure. You guys should talk to Council. I'll set that up in 2 days."
Yes, okay.
You guys see Lee, and Lee sees Nim and sees Kane, and kind of like stops for a moment, and then winks, and then disappears down one of those side doors with like a bevy of people.
Like a bunch of people?
Like a James Bond fade to black, but instead of just one person, multiple people. Persons.
Give him the wilderness meme guy head nod.
He like, and he does the same. He's like, boom, head nods back to you. Like at first he was kind of like, oh shit, they're in here? And then he's like, boom, head nod. No.
It's like you're in
that
here,
good?
so
Is that good? Is that bad? Who knows? By the way, urine in here? Maybe that's something you're into. Probably will happen here. I think that what I'd like to do before we do anything else with this, and especially since it's like 11:42 right now, is I want everybody to roll an investigation check. Used to be gather information, but investigation.
Investigation.
we going for some sort of record or
21. Nat 20.
All right,
nice.
Nim. All right, let's start at the bottom. Nim,
Nothing.
find out that there's sweet ass bootay in here. I don't know what Nim's into, but that bootay is here and it is ready to play. Morak.
Okay.
I don't know what Morak's into. Ruck as sort of the default potential sexiest character, if it weren't for Kane. What you find out is you can get anything you're looking for here. They will work on it for you. And by anything, I mean anything. Are you looking for redheaded Tarak? So like Tarak is in Forgotten Realms, like the eastern area. Are you trying to find like a redheaded Asian woman? They can provide that. Are you looking for a dwarven elf? You could find that here. Are you looking for somebody with 3 arms? You could find that here. Anything is available to you, provided time and money. And then with a 21, especially a nat, Nim, you, despite all of the sort of sexual talk that's happening everywhere, there are conversations happening, not so much between the patron, between the staff, that as you kind of listen in between like bites of your meal and interacting, that Cernabin's brothel is known for its special attraction, and that recently the newest attractions, people who were brought here potentially against their will, and that they had been changed some way, multiple ways, to fit what sexual fantasies people
Like in a biomancy kind of way?
like in a somehow their biomass had been bio menagerie.
Engineer.
Messed.
Yes. You also, I'm gonna, I think I'll give this. You also learn that Cernaban Gremmin is very, very well connected, and that he is kind of like the head of the Sequin crime syndicate, and that he's got kind of a finger in everything, and that he's almost untouchable. Like, in fact, one of his like regular compatriots is somebody by the name of Makung Shaftabeam. Realize I told you earlier is the head of like the Sequin Guard, or part of the head of the Sequin, and is the person trying to get hippogriffins so that there's an aerial defense of Sequin. So Cernaban is like layered as far as like defensibility and etc. And that you guys are now effective in his place of business. And he, more than likely, if you're now aware of him, is aware of. But that's what you all find out.
Well, if there's let's see, what will I go with? A darker elf, not like a drow.
A drow?
Not a drow. Actually, maybe. Yeah, you know what? Is there a drow?
Yes.
All right. They're into like Twilight and stuff.
Well, they want to know what team you're on.
What?
Are you on Team Jacob? Team what the other dudes?
Oh, there you go. The vampire. Not because I choose him, but just in real life. Actually, the other guy is pretty cool too. So, either way.
Okay. And you see the like male or female?
A female.
This female dark elf catches her eye, and she comes over, and she doesn't have ears like they do craft, where 6 feet,
7 feet, right?
Yeah, she has her ears and
15 feet
15
long
ears,
eyebrows.
that stick out somehow outside their.
Right,
but
exactly.
She comes over and
The night elves.
The blood elves and the night elves.
Exactly. She says, I couldn't help but notice that you noticed.
You noticing.
Maybe we should notice each other.
I like your level of observation. And then, so yeah.
I'm incredibly good at investigation, and unless you want.
Oh, where were you earlier?
We need this in the party.
Actually, well, we handled it, but still, let me tell you about it. But also, while talking, trying to gather information as well, see if she has anything.
Did you just roll an 8 for that, or was that the?
No, that was from before. I haven't rolled in a bit. That was just to find out if I found anything, and I didn't find much except for the obvious, where it's like, yeah. I mean, they have anything you want. That's what they advertise. So, It's like, yeah, I figured that part out.
Let's do this. Based upon what we're doing right now, roll a Constitution save.
There you go. Roll or... Okay. Let's just roll a d20. So that's a dirty 20.
All right, with a 20, I will allow you to make an investigation, persuasion, deception check to gather some more information.
Okay. Nope. Wait, why'd you roll twice? What is happening? And then it just rolled a 17. It didn't even roll with anything, so it just rolled another die for some reason.
All right.
But no.
Well, so you don't find anything else out about the biomancer. You don't find anything else out about the crime lord. But what you do find out is that this elf, this dark elf, is covered in now revealed tattoos. And she tells you here in the southern harbor of Sequin, there is somebody who practices the tattoomancy. Tattoomancy is the ability to lock spell into your skin if you have the right price or the right cash to pay for. And then you spend the next several hours discovering what spell she has locked into her. Then I'm going to cutscene back to Kane and say, Kane, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what?
What did you say?
What are you doing? Is there something you're looking for? Are you ready to like run out of here as paladin, justice, and what are you doing?
Paladins have needs too.
Pray with me.
Any paladin I've ever played with would tell you the same thing. So I'm going to assume I'm going to make an investigation or perception roll. So I'm going to be looking around to see if there's anybody who is on the serving side who looks uncomfortable, who looks like they don't know what they're doing, like they're fresh off the boat type of thing.
Okay. All right. Make that check.
Perception. 6. 9.
9. So you find yourself like looking around, casting your gaze here and there, and you find yourself your gaze falls upon what looks like probably is, for lack of a better way to put it, a barback, and it is a young satyr, like goat person, however you want to say it, who comes over, and she's got that same outfit that the waiter had, but she's got huge satyr boobs, and they're like bursting out, and she's like, look, I saw you looking, and I don't know, but like, can I help you with something? I don't know what's happening. Like, also, you are the most magnificent looking person I've ever seen in my life. So, hello, hi, how are you? How can I help? What's going on?
I look. Let's see. I just kind of sit there and ask her if everything's all right. She looks like she's a little nervous.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. And she is attractive, like 100%. But she goes, I've never seen somebody as, I mean, I don't know how else to say this, as beautiful as you. You look awe-inspiring. And she reaches up and like touches one of her like kind of rounded holes. She kind of puts her, she goes to put her hand out to like touch her, pulls it.
Does the sword jump out at her?
So Jen's not here, so no, it does not.
Yes.
I I guess is there anything that I could that would
I'm sorry, Tom.
Yes.
I want to clarify. You said that Nim was the one that discovered the other stuff, but it would have been Kane, right? Because he was the one who got the 20 on the investigation before.
I'm sorry.
Of like
yes,
the really
100%, yes,
in-depth stuff. I just
100%.
want Chris to know
Yeah, no,
exactly if
So
if
Chris,
he
I apologize.
heard that
You got all of
misunderstood.
that.
Oh no, I figured that's what it was.
Okay,
Sorry,
just wanted
good
to make
call.
sure.
Good call. I thought you were about to drop some like legendary sword info that I had forgotten. I don't think I'm forgetting anything right now, but anyway,
Oh
so
shit! Wow, I always
What?
forget something.
I forget that. But yeah, she's like, is there anything that I can do for you?
Well, if I'm not being too bold, you seem kind of new at this. A little novice.
You know what they say, we all have to learn somewhere.
Is this something that you wanted to learn?
She reaches up and like tentatively touches you with her, which is the creepiest thing I've said in a while. And she says, I think you'd be a good teacher.
I don't think I'm getting the responses that I'm looking for.
She turns around and like double goat kicks you in the jaw and says, I didn't realize you wanted to be so physical.
You know us paladins.
Okay.
If I'm not using lay on hands, not getting laid. Anyways, so
boy.
okay, so you and this goat woman descend into either frivolity or not, and I'll cut over to Moruk. Say, Moruk, what is it you're doing?
I'm ordering another round of food.
I need more ribeye. I need more chocolate. And it comes to you, absolutely. And as you're like devouring this, and if you enjoy a hot chocolate, anything like my child does, I imagine that there's chocolate all over your face as you're enjoying that. And
Makes sense.
as
You're
you
not
kind
wrong.
as you kind of glance out across the space that's here, you see an individual also enjoying chocolate, and you can only guess this because with the same amount of cookie monster like fervor that you're delivering to your hot chocolate, they are delivering to their drink and or snack. But what piques your interest is that they are also ripping through not one but 3 volumes in front of them, and as their glance bounces from one to the next, one of their several is flipping pages as they go back to devour and enjoy more chocolate. They then immediately go back towards these 3 volumes. What do you do?
An orc woman?
Potentially as an orc, multiple arms. To you.
With multiple arms? Is that what you said?
I mean, she's flipping multiple books and eating a chocolate souffle at the same time. Maybe. So what do you think?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you can. That's fine. That's good. That's good there.
You're like, this is Moruk's dream and a half, but yeah, it's fine. It's what it is.
All right, cool. All right, he's got it. Play
you
it
could
cool,
also- I mean,
TJ.
So as you're noticing, Another person comes up to you and says, sir, is there anything else that required that I might bring to you? And this person, if you'll remember way, way, way back to when we played Greymore and you met that elf that you couldn't tell whether it was a man or was incredibly androgynous, is the spitting image of that person. Is there anything else I might get for you?
No, we're good here.
I just want to stare at the woman reading books and eating souffle. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And so it goes. Unless anybody wants to do any, I think that this might be a perfect point to kind of fade to black. And you have discovered some things, maybe not all the things, but it is a good point to maybe close out this evening. And
Yeah,
then
that works for me.
And then next week, you can explain to Jen, as she tells you about the Royale, how you guys went to a sex house. I think that's perfect. So,
We were investigating.
we were investigating, and then we investigated.
Well, we already spent the money.
That is true. That is true. That's true. But remember, all staff don't require, but respect tips.
Yeah, and how much on a $50 entrance fee is considered a suitable tip?
All the tips. Also, by the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this evening brothel adventure, because none of this is. There are only information points to, and I'm like, let's go down this rabbit hole. So I hope you get that fun. So, all right. Also, I hope you guys are still in rest book 3. We're in book 3, right? I think we're in book 3. Yeah.
I think so, because we had Escape and then the Fire Forest.
Yeah. Escape, Fire Force. We're in Shelter from the Storm. That's right. So, but yeah. So, good news. Everybody gets a good night's sleep, one way or another. I will leave that up to you guys to determine. And learn more about the underbelly of Secret. But again, I as always, I hope you guys are still. I know that the beginning of tonight's adventure, let's. I just saw TJ's comment in Discord, and that's hilarious. But yeah, so I I love making up fantasy, and whether it's fun or weird or whatever. And so whenever you guys give me a chance to do the one thing that I did forget to mention, and I apologize about this, is that as you
Got
guys
2 levels.
no, absolutely not. Shut up. You guys are
No,
already like
no,
you guys are
4.
already like a level and a half ahead.
Yeah. How
But
good was that steak? Damn.
but the other thing that I want to make sure that I say specifically to Nim is that as you've wrapped up with engagement with the various temples, is that you noticed as you were moving through town, maybe heading this way to the whatever, notice that next to where Temple of the Twilight God of Thanos was, is a secondary building that is slightly larger and connected to it. And if you wanted to look into it, I would close tonight and say you could do it.
I mean, yeah, might as well. What do we got?
And as you go in, and it is virtually the same structure, that sort of like light ceiling shroud by the door. In the corner, a small kind of like triangle table that's been built with candles, offering. This time, as you go in, close you see the constellation above without the need of a candle.
Oh, yes, this thing. Right.
You see, looks like very center of everything on the ceiling, very center of all the pinpricks that light the light of day in, or the light of whatever in. You notice that there is what looks like an eye, and that eye turns and looks at you directly, and you feel energized by it. And I think that's a good place to stop for tonight.
And that was in that little shrine that I had been in previously?
No, it is in the shrine next to it that just slightly is bigger, but looks identical to what it was.
Huh, okay. Cool.
All right. So again, I know tonight was a lot of rolls and a lot of information, but I hope people had fun with it. I had fun with it because you guys kept picking shit that I'm like, I gotta make this up, so let's do it. But I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed it. I really think the walk the fire thing was pretty cool, and I also think I did you guys solid with the, but we'll see. So we'll talk to you all next week. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Good.
Later, all.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.